You walk down the street every single day, completely surrounded by a layer of reality you probably never even acknowledge. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a single, absolutely fascinating concept that reveals the invisible architecture of our modern metropolis. We're looking at the hidden AI systems quietly running modern cities. We're going to deconstruct exactly what this unseen digital ecosystem is and how it literally governs the physical world right around you. Think about your morning commute for a second. Look closely at your city. What are you missing? You see the concrete, the glass, the asphalt, but right beneath your feet, embedded in the traffic grids and the power lines, there are massive, incredibly complex systems operating in absolute silence, just observing, calculating. They're managing the entire flow of human life while remaining entirely invisible to us. It's kind of wild when you think about it. So let's get right into part one, the hidden urban layer. When we talk about an urban context, a hidden system is basically an operational network that functions entirely outside the daily perception of the general public. Now, I want to be clear here, this concealment isn't necessarily secretive or malicious. There's no grand conspiracy. These systems are just integrated so deeply and honestly so seamlessly that they become functionally invisible to the citizens relying on them every single second of the day. We're really talking about an invisible infrastructure. Typically, when we hear the word infrastructure, we picture bridges, tunnels, water pipes, right? The heavy physical stuff. But the modern metropolis is built on a foundation of unseen digital operations. Without this algorithmic bedrock, all that physical steel and concrete would inevitably buckle under the chaotic demands of millions of inhabitants. Which brings us to section 2, defining these quiet AI systems. You see, the true power of these operations actually lies in their quietness, and they really have 3 defining characteristics. First up, constant background processing. They don't sleep, they are continuously crunching data, 24/7. Second, a complete lack of public-facing interfaces. There are no screens for you to tap, no passwords to log in. And third, seamless integration into daily life. As you move through your day, the system is just working around you and for you, never demanding your attention or making a sound. And that perfectly illustrates a core truth of urban technology: silence is efficiency. In a massive metropolitan grid, noise, sirens, traffic gridlock, rolling blackouts, that noise indicates a failure somewhere. The absolute quietness of this AI is its ultimate indicator of success. The city hums along perfectly, precisely because these algorithms are preemptively solving crises before they ever make a sound. But this presents a pretty profound paradox, doesn't it? How exactly does a quiet AI exert such massive control? How does something that is entirely silent and literally devoid of physical form dictate the loud, chaotic, and intensely physical reality of a sprawling, bustling city? Let's explore that in section 3, running the modern metropolis. Consider the precise definition of running in an urban context. We're talking about the active management, algorithmic optimization, and continuous oversight of a city's foundational mechanisms. So the AI is not just a passive observer sitting in the background. It is the active manager. It's making authoritative calls, shifting resources, and dictating the urban flow with absolute precision. A modern city really exists in 2 parallel states. You have the static and the dynamic. The physical city, the asphalt roads, the massive skyscrapers, the utility lines, that's static hardware. Once it's built, it rarely changes. But the dynamic AI layer, that's the software. It's a constantly shifting, learning entity that governs exactly how efficiently that physical hardware operates, responding instantly to the totally unpredictable nature of human behavior. And just consider the sheer scale required to actively manage this environment. We are talking about continuous urban oversight, automated decision-making algorithms that are processing literally millions of data points every single second. Real-time environmental adaptation, whether that means routing emergency services through completely congested traffic or adjusting power grid loads during a sudden massive storm. The quiet AI seamlessly reallocates those resources to keep the metropolis breathing. Ultimately, these systems are the engine of the modern city. The very definition of a modern metropolis now inherently relies on these hidden artificial intelligence mechanisms to function. Without this invisible layer of active management, the sheer density and mind-boggling complexity of our cities would cause them to just collapse right under their own weight. Which leads us to our final part, section 4, the unseen city examined. We are essentially living in a dual reality. We exist in a physical space made of concrete and steel, the one we can touch and see and hear, but that space is entirely enveloped and actively managed by a digital shadow, one that is quiet, hidden, and immensely powerful. To truly understand modern life is to realize that you are interacting with a physical sidewalk and an invisible algorithm at the exact same time. And that brings us right back full circle to our foundational text, The Hidden AI Systems Quietly Running Modern Cities. Taking the time to unpack this single concept completely alters how we view our everyday environment. A streetlight or a transit schedule, it's no longer just a physical object or a time printed on a board. It is the real-time physical output of a vast hidden intelligence. So I want to leave you with one final provocative question. If our cities are increasingly managed by these unseen, quiet, algorithmic systems, who is truly designing our urban future? Is it the architects and city planners drawing up the physical blueprints? Or is it the engineers and data scientists writing the invisible code? Keep questioning the world around you. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. I'll see you next time.